in the best shape of my life. Look at the dawn. Coke ain't been this white since it hooked my moms. I'm a hustler's dream come true. White walls on the old school leaning like the fiends that come through. I ain't hustled in months and still smell like the trap. One freestyle a week, I'm trying to cut him some slack. Y'all should already know why I relate the king. The name bundles, you can take it in your nose and your veins. Fuck rock, man. Y'all hear what the boy doing, man? Riot Squad boys in the building, man.
On June 11, 2007, just 4 months before his 25th birthday, Stack Bundles came home from a packed show at Club Stereo in Manhattan, ready to relax after shutting the stage down all night. But the moment he stepped into the lobby of his building in the Redfern houses of Far Rockaway, Queens, everything changed in the worst way. A shooter was waiting. Stack was hit inside that lobby.
This is someone we love who was doing something. Now let us join together and do something constructive and positive. That we also can put Far Rockaway on the map. Not for crime spikes, not for drug houses, not for something negative, but for something positive.
And just like that, a career that was only starting to climb got cut short in the most brutal way possible. Violence has been haunting hip-hop for decades, taking legends like Biggie and Tupac, but it never stops with the icons. Even fresh talent with a whole future ahead can get caught in real-life danger before they ever reach their peak. Stack Bundles was one of those artists, a rising star whose story ended way too soon.
We's nothing alike, we's different. You ain't the hustling type, we's different. Whip came different, whip game different. Big chain different, spit game different.
Leaving everybody wondering what the game might look like today if voices like his were still here. He was known as the gorgeous gangster, and in a neighborhood as rough as Redfern, that name carried weight. The area had a reputation, with the New York Times even calling it caught in the crossfire of a private war. But nobody believed Stack would be the next one taken by that chaos.
They call Far Rock Alcatraz, because it's one way in, one way out.
Is that serious out there? Is that serious?
Is that serious?
I was on stage. I couldn't even get pictures of him on stage because he had so many dudes behind him. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I get the support of the hood because I'm the only thing we got.
We used to watch movies when it rained. Now I play shoes with the crew and make it rain. Caviar taste, pockets for champagne. What's that phrase? I'm doing the damn thing.
When news broke that he was gone, the whole community was shaken. Because Stack wasn't just another rapper, he was seen as the one who could lift Far Rockaway into a brighter spotlight. Stack Bundles repped Far Rockaway with full pride, linking up with major names and proving he could freestyle with anybody in the room. His buzz kept growing fast, and when he popped up on Jim Jones and Lil Wayne's track Weatherman, that's when mainstream ears finally locked in on him. But real hip-hop heads already knew the truth. Anyone keeping up with DJ Clue tapes and those raw street mixtapes had been watching Stack shake the underground for years. His path into music started way earlier than people think.
We started off, it was me and Stack. No, maybe we was on our Kobe and Shaq. That was probably like 02. But Stack and Core was always cool because they from the same hood. So Core had a show coming up and so it was like, yo, I want to grind and freestyle. So that was like 03. So it's me, Core, Mike Mills, and Bishop. Everybody, 5 different dudes from 5 different parts of the rock, you know what I mean? So that's how we started the S5. After that popped off, Bishop went to jail. Mike Mills took off on a solo career, so it was just 3 of us. And the Chinks used to come through the studio all the time. He used to always have a verse for every student. So it's like, yo, it. Let's put him down and shit. So it's 4 members, we couldn't be S5 no more, so we took the name Rockaway Riot Squad. That was a little clique from Redfern, you know what I mean? Old timers, they was running around boots with robbing banks, just terrorizing the hood. So we took that moniker.
By 7th grade, he was deep into dancing, and that lane eventually led him to Bino, who would later become his partner in the Riot Squad. They first crossed paths in junior high, with Stack focused on dance and Bino running the court on the basketball side. When they linked again in their teens, Stack had switched lanes from dancing to rapping, and the two grabbed a 4-track recorder so they could start crafting music together. Back in those early years, Stack even made a name as a dancer, landing spots in music videos for Busta Rhymes and 702, but everything shifted after he was expelled from Far Rockaway High School and transferred to August Martin High School in South Jamaica, where he crossed paths with future stars like Lloyd Banks.
Listen, if you listen to this, it's evident you trying to figure out if I'm dude. Or maybe somebody told you I'm that dude. Or maybe you one of the few that disagree with me and got your own views about who's really that dude. Well, the South movement got 10 months left, and come Valentine's Day, the game emerged to the West. And I feel as assured that the East is selling the less, screaming New York, the pioneer's supposed to be the best. You blame it on the vets for our current state of the game. They won't retire, so the generations just remain the same. Bunch of opportunists that was given opportunity to make a difference in music, but gave no opportunity. Nothing new or fresh, it's just the same ass sound. Same old producers with the same ass sound. Up and coming artists got identity crisis, cause whenever you the labels turn you away. But when you me, you think of a way to cast the criticism aside, get on the track, say what you wanna say. The radio's gonna play whatever the listeners say they should, and I want the listeners say they should. Indeed they should. Indeed I should. Smack a few like Suge, but then they'll blackball me. And that's a long story, no crossover, so I wrote the crossover. But if the album sell out, I'd be considered a sellout. The fans keep asking when the album gonna come out. Ask your local execs, I'm out.
Surrounded by talent and motivated by the energy around him, Stack chose to chase rap full-time, especially after spending time in Chicago in 2001 with Lupe Fiasco, a move that pushed him to take the craft even more seriously.
One time at Babalu's, he had on a big blue fur. And he came, ran down on me like, yo, my name's Stack, pulling on from the back. Yo, just talking, man, aggressive. I'm like, oh boy. They, you know, he was like, cool. And then I heard a record on the radio. Hello, you love Cab and that Dipset? I know you don't love me. I know you don't love me. Remember he did that freestyle?
Yeah.
And I was like,
no, you don't love me. What mine's under the threshold?
Who is this? I like this young. And I'm like, oh, that's the same young from the Babalu. And they were like, yo, he down with Desert Storm and all this type of shit. I'm like, well, guess what? Tell him pull up to the studio. I got a proposition for him.
When Stack Bundles came back to Far Rockaway, he started building the foundation for what would become the Riot Squad, linking up with artists like Chinks Drugs and Bino to shape a movement straight from their block. His talent started turning heads fast, especially with DJ Clue, who played a major role in pushing Stack's sound out to a wider audience. Those mixtape appearances, the confidence, the flashy attitude, people weren't calling him the gorgeous gangster for nothing. And it wasn't just the image. His mic skills were special, sharp, and impossible to ignore. Even when some industry folks doubted him early on, Stack proved he was different. Jim Jones spotted that star potential quick, pulled him in, and put him on records, including their holiday project, A Dipset Christmas. But the real breakout moment came with Weatherman, the track featuring Lil Wayne that shot Stack into the mainstream and made his name ring way louder. As the record took off, Stack hit the road with Lil Wayne in 2007, and talk started spreading behind the scenes about a possible long-term partnership between them. It felt like everything was lining up for the next big chapter in his career, right before the shooting that happened around 5 a.m. on June 11th, 2007.
Stack Bundles, I think about that every day to the point that I still don't listen to his music since he passed away because it hurts me so bad. Like, you know, I had so much belief and faith in that boy. I really thought that he was the best rapper that I've ever heard rap still to this day. He's very witty with it, like he was incredible. And, you know, just to go back and to see all the things that happened in the midst of you trying to become famous and successful. Like I used to tell Cam all the time, this fame comes with an omen. It doesn't go good 100%.
Stack Bundles stepped into the lobby of his building at the Redfern houses in Far Rockaway, Queens, not knowing danger was already waiting for him. The moment he walked through those doors, an unidentified shooter ran up and opened fire. Stack was hit multiple times, once in the head and once in the neck, taking his life almost instantly. A neighbor found him moments later, slumped on the lobby floor as blood spread around him. A scene that shook the whole building. The gunshots echoed through the hallways and woke up several residents, but nobody saw who pulled the trigger and nobody heard any kind of argument beforehand. What made the whole situation even more chilling was what the attacker chose to take, and what they chose to leave behind. They grabbed Stack's signature chain, but didn't touch his wallet, his cash, or his credit cards, a detail that raised serious questions about what the shooter really wanted. That choice made people wonder if this was deeper than a robbery.
Jim Jones had two major artists, Max B and Stack Bundles. What do you think about all the people that say Jim Jones could have got Stack Bundles out of Far Rock?
I can't get my fat ass brother out of Checkers. So, again, this is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of times people give opinions on that they never experienced. Getting someone else to change their own habits, you know how hard that is? You know how hard it is to get another man, grown-ass man, to change what he's viewing as right. For you to get him to change that, that's hard as tough, Mikey. But you know how hard it is to get a stranger to maneuver or do things or live a lifestyle you think they should be living because you believe the lifestyle that they're living is going to put them at jeopardy. It's like, it's hard. So I never bought into that bullshit talking about, yo, he could have did this for Stack. If Stack was a grown-ass man, if Stack didn't want to do what Jim was proposing, and not saying Jim even proposed anything, but if he did, the last final say-so is in Stack's hands.
What do you say to the people that say it was Stack Bundles' fault and not Jim Jones because Stack Bundles didn't want to leave Far Rock?
It goes back to what I said earlier. It's a habit. Habits, man. Habits are hard to...
Yo, listen, what's that piece, yo? You take that piece, so cool.
Oh, let's rock and roll to the next level. Iced out Skullhead. We on our prejudice. All black diamonds. Shall we play?
Was the chain taken as a message, a symbolic move, or did something personal drive the attack? Investigators explored every angle they could. One theory said it might have been a robbery that escalated, with the shooter targeting Stack specifically for the flashy jewelry he was known for wearing.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But the fact that the shooter ignored Stack's other valuables and went straight for the chain had people convinced this wasn't random at all. It felt personal. That chain meant something to Stack, not just as jewelry, but as a mark of who he was in the streets and in the music world.
This is the difference between me and other right? Stack Bundles, one of my favorite rappers in the world.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Right?
Riot Squad. Rest in peace.
Far Rock.
Yep.
You understand? Jim Jones, he had Stack Bundles, he had Max B. I looked at it like, wait, you know. Stack's Bundles had a portion was still in the hood. No disrespect to Jim Jones. Fifth had me in Battery Park. I could walk out that mouth barefoot.
Get the
See,
socks.
that's when I love you. Get the socks, sneakers, Dior. But I'm walking out there barefoot. That's when you know I love you, boy. Because he making sure you don't get your shit split. Because you go back to 134, anywhere, Baisley, right, Brooklyn, get split. Once I shot my shit up, Bentleys and all that. Put me in position. Rest in peace of Stack, but Stack got killed in the project with a Porsche.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm from the hood.
So when it disappeared, many started thinking the attack was aimed specifically at him, not just a quick grab and go. Another theory going around was that the situation might have been tied to neighborhood tension. Some felt that Stack's fast rise in the rap game could have sparked jealousy or reopened old issues with people from his past, leading to a deadly outcome. Others believed it might have been a retaliatory hit connected to a bigger feud in the area, something way beyond music. There were even quiet rumors about industry jealousy. Stack was rising fast, getting close with Jim Jones and the Dipset camp, and talk was spreading about future work with Lil Wayne, which could have made certain people feel threatened by his momentum. But none of these whispers were ever backed up with real evidence. Just speculation from a community trying to make sense of a loss that hit them hard. When Stack Bundles passed, he was on the edge of true greatness. His people still wonder what his career could have become, and his legacy hasn't faded one bit. Far Rockaway honored him by naming a street after him, making sure his name stays alive and his impact remains part of the neighborhood forever. In the days following Stack Bundles' murder, Far Rockaway felt heavy, like the whole neighborhood lost its heartbeat. Fans, friends, and industry names pulled up to the Red Fern houses, trying to understand how someone with so much potential could be taken out right at home. Police canvassed the area, questioned residents, and searched for security footage, but the reality hit quick. This was going to be a tough case to crack because nobody saw anything and nobody was talking. Rumors started moving faster than facts. Some people claimed they heard someone running out of the building right after the shots, while others said the shooter knew exactly when Stack would walk through that lobby. The idea that someone might have been watching him, tracking his movements after the club stereo performance, made the whole situation feel even more unsettling. Meanwhile, the music world reacted instantly. Jim Jones posted heartfelt messages, calling Stack a brother and reminding everybody how hard he worked to earn his spot. Chinks was devastated, losing not just a collaborator, but someone he considered real family. Across New York, DJs blasted Stack's freestyles, his Riot Squad tapes, and unreleased snippets, turning the city into one big tribute. But behind all the love, there was a dark truth settling in. Nobody was confident this case would ever get closure. People whispered that the streets already knew what happened, but the code of silence kept every lead locked away. For many, that's what made the loss hurt even more. Stack Bundles wasn't just gone. He was gone without justice, leaving a wound that still hasn't healed today. As the investigation dragged on with no real progress, the streets started building their own theories, stacking them one on top of another until the story felt bigger than anything the police were putting together. Some people insisted Stack's murder had nothing to do with music at all, claiming it came from personal tension tied to old neighborhood issues. Others swore it had to be connected to someone he crossed paths with during his rise, someone who didn't like seeing him shine the way he was starting to. Detectives tried circling back to old associates, old conflicts, anyone who might have held a grudge, but every trail went cold. Folks in the neighborhood kept quiet, either out of fear or loyalty. Nobody knew who pulled the trigger, but everyone knew Redfern wasn't a place where people casually opened their mouths. That silence made the case feel frozen in time, like somebody hit pause on the truth and never pressed play again. Meanwhile, Stack's music started gaining even more momentum after his passing, which only made the mystery around his death feel heavier. The Riot Squad kept pushing forward, dropping tracks, keeping his voice alive, but you could hear the pain behind every verse. Chinks especially took the loss hard, and people say it changed the way he moved forever. Behind the scenes, industry insiders whispered that Stack's career was right on the edge of a major breakthrough, a moment that could have shifted the entire New York scene. That thought still haunts a lot of people because losing him didn't just take away a talented artist, it took away a future that felt ready to explode at any moment. But even with all the love, tributes, and memories shared after his passing, the truth behind Stack Bundles' murder stayed buried in mystery. The night before everything went wrong, he was out in Manhattan with friends, later grabbing food at White Castle before heading home like any normal night. But the moment he stepped into his building, he crossed paths with someone who had already made a deadly decision, and that split second changed everything forever. Since then, theories have flown from every direction, but nothing has ever brought real closure to the people who cared about him. Stack's death became a harsh reminder of how dangerous fame can be, especially in places like Far Rockaway, where trying to rise above the chaos can come with a heavy cost. Even so, Stack Bundles' legacy refuses to fade. His music still hits, his style still inspires, and his name still echoes through New York as a symbol of strength and determination. He wasn't just a rising artist, he was hope for his block, proof that someone from those buildings could break through and make the world pay attention. His story is powerful, and his tragic end reminds us how fragile life can be in the world of hip-hop. Let us know in the comments what you think really went down that night. And make sure you like, share, and drop a comment to keep this story alive. Hit subscribe to Dripzine and help this video grow by clicking that hype this video button. It's free and it helps a lot. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you rocking with the channel.